Hello and welcome to the Tekken School Series matchup course, and today we're going to talk about Dragunov. Dragunov is a pretty deadly character in Tekken 8, and he boasts a very wide array of pokes, very high damaging combos, and yeah, he has all sorts of dangerous tools. So we're going to go over them. The structure is going to be very similar. We're going to talk about pokes, +1 block moves, strings that you should know, should be familiar with, stances or all sorts of like step dashes that you should know, gimmicks, and options in heat that you should be familiar with. And let's just go over them in the same order. So firstly, we'll talk a bit about Dragunov in terms of pokes. Before I start, I will mention Dragunov's is weak to sidestep to the right. That means whenever you step Dragunov, you want to go to the right, to your right. Okay, so just keep that in mind. With that said, some pokes are easier to step to the left. Just generally speaking, you want to step to the right against Dragunov. Okay, so let's go with pokes. And the main pokes that I think Dragunov players will be using, that you should kind of know, is first of all, of course, jabs. Dragunov has strong jab strings, so he has his 2-1, which is a 10-frame string, right? And this 2-1 can go into stance, right? So you can see he can kind of like go into a step dash like this. Now, it's important to know that a lot of Dragunovs will treat this as if it's their own turn, but this is all interruptible. Unless this is on hit. So let me just kind of show if he press punish. Let's set him up to just like do a jab, right? So as you can see, I'm doing like my Festus option, which is this at 15. All right, this is 18. This is 17. This is 18. So as you can see, jab stops it, even though it's supposed to high crush. On hit, it's a bit different, of course. So as you can see, this works, this works, this is even working, right? You're very plus when you're doing this, and they shouldn't be pressing, basically, if you got the hit. But yeah, this is a very nice jab string. It also has other cancels in this low and in this high. Since it's a low and a high, you can duck both of them. If you are in a situation where you're blocking this, right, ducking is definitely a good option if you recognize the 2-1 string, since both follow-ups are lows and highs, and the rest are kind of just slower, so you could like crouch and then dick jab to kind of cover all options on block, of course. Okay, that's cool, that's cool. Make sure you're not falling for anything like this, technically, because they could do it. But this would take a lot of time, so if you crouch and then dick jab, you should be able to cover everything generally. Okay, so that's jab string number 1. Other jab string that are fairly good is the 1-2. 1-2 has another follow-up with 1-2-1. It is -14. Dragunov players will sometimes pull this off. This is a heat engager, and it's guaranteed on counter hit. So it's one of these 10-frame counter hit strings. You'll see that right now, it'll guaranteed without the counter hit. He blocks the last one. So it's used often in specific scenarios. I'll show them in a moment. Okay, so this is the 1-2-1 string. He also has a 1-1 jab string. It looks like this, and it has this kick safe as a follow-up. You kind of want to duck it if you do notice it. Yeah, not a bad string. Pretty nice. +7 on hit, and there's yeah, just -4 on block. So not too bad. If you can duck it, but if not, then the kick is -9. Not punishable, but it's still like giving you your turn. So these are the basic jab strings. Okay, next poke is down forward 1, and down forward 1, as we always say, is a classic mid poke. As you can see, this one is +7 on hit, which is really nice, and it's also -2 on block, which is also really nice. This down forward 1 has only one follow-up. It's a high, but that high is counter hit launcher. Okay, it's not guaranteed on normal hit. As you can see, it's not a true string. Sorry. Okay, it's guaranteed on counter hit, and if only the second hit connects, counter hit launcher, and yeah, you pick it up for a lot of damage. I'm not a Dragunov player, but as you can tell, you can do a lot of damage if you want to. Anyway, that's the down forward 1. Something that is good to know about Dragunov's down forward 1 is that it does have a little bit of tracking. So you can see that to the left, you can step very cleanly. To the right, you can step, but sometimes you will get hit, right? Depending on the frame data. So sometimes you do get clipped there. Just like keep that in mind. Sometimes down forward 1 will have a little bit of tracking. You see how like there it catches. Okay, amazing. So generally speaking, down for 1, really nice poke, but not too dangerous. Make sure to crouch if you are getting hit by this, so you don't eat the counter hit from the second hit. Where is it? Yeah, just to kind of show how that looks like. Right, even on hit, you can crouch. So just keep that in mind. If you get hit by down for 1s, they like to throw out the second hit. Even on hit, you can crouch it and you can launch it. Okay. Okay, on to the next poke. And the next poke is down forward 4. Okay, down forward 4 is a very generic type of poke. It has solid range, as you can see. Like, it goes pretty far. It is, yeah, very nice on block. Let me put you back to block all. It's +2 on hit, not too impressive, but at least good enough to stop them from pressing again. And it's -9 on block, but that's okay for a 12 frame mid. It's always nice to have 12 frame mids to check people with. So yeah, it's a very nice poke. It is very linear, so if people are throwing this out, you can definitely step them and punish them. Don't worry about them too much. It's just like a nice kind of like keep out tool. Okay, next tool. The next tool. Am I in the wrong section? Okay, there it is. Next tool is back 4, and back 4 we're going to talk about it in the strength section as well. But back 4 is a 14 frame mid. Has follow-ups, so it has a mid-high follow-up. It's guaranteed on normal hit. Has a mid-mid follow-up into mix. So like back 4 is a really nice tool. It's super fast. It hits super low, so it can even hit people on the ground. I wonder how do I show that. Let me tell him to not get up real quick. I just want you to kind of see this. Yeah, okay, so as you can see, some Dragunov players will use this at the wall like this to just kind of tell you to get up. Just keep that in mind. This tool is very strong and can do a lot of things. Very versatile. And it's very safe, right? As you can see, like just -4. You don't have to commit to a lot. It does give this mid-high. Or you could check with this mid-mid and it's safe. So super nice tool. For the record, this is also a linear tool generally, but the follow-up, the high follow-up does have some tracking. So if I do, for example, this, as you can see, the second hit will often catch them, even though the first hit whiffs. Yeah, as you can see, the follow-ups just kind of catch afterwards. So yeah, just keep that in mind when you're stepping. Like, this move does have follow-ups, and it's good to be careful of them. Okay, on to the next poke, and the next poke is forward free and forward free 1+2. So forward free is a mid. It's -6. It's a bit slow. It's on the slower side. It's 20 frames. And yeah, as you can see, it has this follow-up. Right, another mid. So it's mid -6. The trick that many Dragunov players don't want you to know is that it's interruptible. So if I put him there on the punish, right, as you can see, he stops me. If you have a good counter hit tool at 10 frames, this is where you want to pull it off. For example, Dragunov could do his 1-2 there, and it'll be guaranteed. So yeah, this is a very common tool for Dragunov players. They love using it because, well, this is a heat engager, right? So right, heat engager, true string, super nice move. So yeah, keep it in mind. If your opponent likes to abuse this move, make sure you jab sometimes to interrupt them. Check them with it. Don't let them get away with just throwing this out. They don't deserve it. On to the next poke, and the next poke is down 1. Okay, down 1, very nice poke. It's +1 on block. Okay, and it's 18 frames fast, which is pretty good. I think it's pretty fast. It also forces crouch, and this is the main thing about it. Puts you in kind of like an uncomfortable position where you're -1, you're crouching. So like he can pull off his down forward one, kind of to contest your while standing free or your dick jab. He of course can also contest with other moves, or he can just like backdash since it has like some pushback, right, to check you. Also, in addition, right, on counter hit, it gives you this nice knockdown. He can give you a little steppy. Maybe he can do something else that I don't know of, right? I'm not sure. I don't think, at least, that he can. I don't think this is guaranteed. So, yeah. Very nice poke. Okay, be careful of it. But remember, if somebody's kind of like spamming this, you can dick jab them to make them stop, or you could like a while standing free there. It's also okay to contest them. Okay, next poke. Next poke is down free, and down free is a low, right? As you can see, it also has extensions, right? Has like a bunch of them. We'll talk about them in the string part, but it's basically a low. It's relatively fast, doesn't crush too much, and it's -3 on hit. So after getting hit by this, it is technically your turn, but because it has follow-ups, it could be a bit scary to press there. So just be careful if you see an opponent using this. Make sure you know it's -3, so if they don't follow up, then you can take your turn. But make sure to respect a little bit in case they decide to pull out the, you know, entire thing. Okay, so that's down 3, and down 2, another low. This low has quite a bit of tracking, so like if I set the opponent to step after, like to either side. So here, this will catch. If I change this to step to the other side, still catches. Even on sidewalks, this usually catches. I think there's like some characters who can walk this, like Lily. But yeah, generally this is a lot of tracking, so super nice low. And this is something that everybody who plays against Dragunov has to know. Okay, in lower levels, a lot of Dragunovs will abuse this. They do this thing, right? It's kind of like a flowchart they have. They do this, and then afterwards, yeah, they do this, and then they'll do this. Okay, now this move is -1 on hit. Okay, it's -1 on hit. It's a very strong move. Okay, on counter hit, it's very plus, right? +13, so you could go for this. But this is -1, so it being -1 means that after it, on normal hit, it is not the Dragunov's turn to initiate, right? To keep going. You can challenge them, and you can use your dick jab, you can use your while standing 4 to kind of beat their options, because both of you are crouching. The Dragunov player will have to use step to kind of like beat your options, or like you'll have to force them to do something else. It is not their turn, so make sure you don't give them away too much, right? Definitely don't let them get away with doing this all day, right? Right, a lot of Dragunov players, if you played against a Dragunov player, this probably happened to you already. So make sure you challenge there. Don't let them get anything for free. Use the dick jab, use the while standing 4. Next poke is another low, and it's down back 3+4. Okay, and this is +7 low. It's 20 frame startup, which is it's pretty nice. Doesn't have any crashing, but yeah, it deals insane amount of damage. So yeah, what's the deal with this move? Well, basically it's 20 frames, so it's not exactly reactable. It deals a big chunk of damage, but if you do block it, for the love of God, make sure you launch it, because it's -15. Okay, yeah, -15 move, so make sure to use your 15 frame launcher. If you don't have one for some reason, maybe play Ling or something, you don't have 15 frame launcher, get whatever juice you can out of this, or just low parry it. You have to take whatever you can off this move. This move deals a lot of damage. You can't let them get away with it more than like once or twice. Okay, and the last low is right this, the full crouch down for 1-4. This low is like a new move for Tekken 8, and wow, it is so nice. It has a lot of range. I think maybe not here. Okay, not 2.8 maybe. Yeah, at 2.8, kind of like Feng's down back 3 in terms of range, so a lot. And yeah, it has great range. It puts you into this situation where Dragunov is +7, and if you play against Dragunov, you know they love doing this thing, because this is also +7. And what I'm here to tell you is that this is fake. Don't let them do this. And by fake, I mean basically you can interrupt it. I don't mean that Like they can never get away with it because obviously they have other options. But as you can see, if I go for it, the jab will beat me. They have, of course, other options that can beat a jab. They have this, and it's a launcher, so be careful. You can, of course, dick jab to beat both this and this, right? Let me set them to dick jab. Does Dragunov have like a dick jab from standing? Oh, okay. Yeah, like this. Okay, so I put down the dick jab, and now, okay, right, this stops it, stops it, stops it, right, the fast move, and Dragunov will be forced to kind of use the armor move, and even here this trade, so it's kind of like, you can tell it's not that bad. For some reason the low wins here. That's pretty strange. I did not expect the low to win. That's good to know. Okay, the low beats the dick jab. The low is, of course, yeah. Low is, of course, launchable. So if you do block the low, or if you can force the Dragunov to keep doing the low, that's like good for you. If you get to block it, then amazing. You'll get a punish, big launch. But yeah, make sure you check Dragunov players for doing this. Right, it's 0 on hit, by the way, so be careful after you get hit by this, because they can definitely use their counter hit strings to kind of catch you. But either way, this poke, full crush, down forward 1-4, very, very nice. It puts them in a very plus position and puts them into the stance, but just remember, you can challenge them. A lot of their options are fake, and you want to challenge them. You don't want to let them get away with just like chipping you, getting more plus damage, more chip damage, and pushing you to the wall. Okay, don't let them get away with this. Okay, on to the next poke, and next poke is up forward 4. Okay, up forward 4, bit on the slow side, has a low crush, sorry, and basically it's a safe like a mid mini combo starter. He gets like quite a bit of damage off this, almost 50, which I think is pretty good. I think that in heat he can get more, if I'm not wrong, or he can floor break with this. I could be wrong. I'm not sure about that one. And sometimes near the wall he can pick it up for like a full combo depending on like the axis he's on. So like sometimes if he's like this, right, he can pick it up for like a bigger combo, which I don't remember how you do. I think you do a down 2 or something. Doesn't matter, just know this is a dangerous move. It's a -9, so it's safe, and you will struggle to step it sometimes, but you can step it to the right. It doesn't look like you should be able to, but it is possible. Oh, sorry. Is he going to the right? Yeah, he is. I know that it's possible. It's just not like not very easy. How will I set it up? I wonder. Oh, maybe like this. No, I don't think I can show it, but it is possible. Like I've done it before. Maybe on the walk it would be easier. Yeah, okay. On a walk it's maybe more consistent. So yeah, this move very, very strong, but remember every time you block it, it's -9. So do take your turn. Don't let it get away with doing like extra stuff afterwards. Don't let them overextend. Because that's up forward 4. We also have up forward 3, which is another low crush. It starts up at 17 frames and it's -7, so it's very safe to throw out, which is really, really nice for a poke, right? It's fairly safe, and yeah, it has nice range too, I think, right, for like a low crush. And yeah, it is very linear, unlike the other move. It's very easily steppable, and it does have quite a bit of recovery on whiff, but it is a nice poke. Keep an eye out. If you use a lot of lows, they might start pulling this off, and you'll have to block it, take your turn, or put some stepping into your game to make it whiff. Okay, and last one. Last poke. No, we covered all the things that I wanted to cover. So now we're moving on to the plus on block moves, and if you play against Dragunov, you know their favorite move is this. They love doing this. This is a 15 frame startup move, while running move, which is that's always great, having like a very fast while running move, right? Very, very nice. Very hard to deal with. It's +6, which means that after it, like dealing with like his down forward 1, his jab strings, and all of his other options, like down forward 4, back 4, right? All these are uninterruptible and will be difficult to even step in many cases. So yeah, running 2, one of their favorite tools, even as like a just frame thing, which I don't do because I'm not a Dragunov player. But yeah, ignore that bit for now. It also deals like some chip damage, which is nice for the Dragunov players. But yeah, very, very strong move. Okay, next +1 block move is forward 3, and that move is +5. The +5 don't matter too much, since usually it has so much pushback it doesn't matter. This is the homing move. It's a high, and they can kind of mix it up sometimes from the running 2, because a lot of times like you'll try to step running 2. Right, I can kind of show that if they go to the right or like I recorded a bunch of we're running 2 things. Wait, I'm stepping too early, I think. Yeah. Yeah, you can step into both directions. This is a step, not a walk, as you can see. So this thing does like a... You can make it whiff pretty easily. So they might want to pull out like a forward 3, which is a homing move. Yeah, like just to kind of check you. Also, this move deals insane amount of chip damage. Like if you look, like the running 2 like deals this much. Forward 3 deals this much. So don't hold this move too much. Make sure you do stop them if they're trying to go for this a lot. Okay, so yeah, just keep this in mind. Next +1 block move is back 1+2, and this again, very, very nice move. Okay, +6, which again puts you in the same situation as this thing. Very, very strong, very annoying to deal with. It is a 22 frame startup, which is not that bad. As well as the other moves, it has this weakness to stepping to the right. So let's say I do wait, what I want, step right. So let's say I do this into this, easily steppable. Not a big problem if you're stepping, but of course sometimes it's hard to step everything, so yeah, this can definitely hit you. Okay, and you also have QCF4, right? It's kind of the same thing that comes out of the stance, kind of like the sneak step that he's doing. And this is +7 on block. This used to keep them way closer to. This was nerfed early after the game's release. Okay, it's +7, so even in this spacing, it's not that bad. And near the wall, this becomes really good. Also deals some chip damage. Generally speaking, it's like a safe mid check. It's also really good on hit because it's a heat engager. So very, very nice move. Not too hard to deal with. Just most of the time you're trying to interrupt this if they're like trying to cancel into like the step thing. Okay, and these are the important +1 block moves. Now let's go over some strings. So I already mentioned some of the jab strings, like the 1-1-3, where you kind of want to duck the jab. There was the 1-1-3-2, which is punishable, right? It's also like a high, so like the one jabs, the one strings, a lot of them are high into mid. This one is punishable. It's -13. The 1-2 is a high mid, right? And also the follow-up is heat engager -14. So a lot of times like the 1-2 is what's supposed to catch you when you're trying to duck the 1-1s or the 1-3, right? So just keep that in mind. Pay attention to what they're doing, and if they like completing strings, right? Oh, was it not coming out? Yeah, like this. Make sure you punish them correctly. A lot of them are -13 or -14, so yeah, just keep that in mind. Okay, next string is the 4 string. It's basically the things that start from 4, and it has a 4-1, which is it's a Dragunov's 12 frame Punisher. It's very, very nice, deals nice damage. It's a high, so technically, if you duck it, you can duck both and launch. But it's a bit hard to duck this. Most important thing is like on block, it's only -4. So you want to pay attention and make sure you don't take your turn with something too aggressive, because they could keep pressing after this if they use like a fast option or one of their counter hit strings. So yeah, just be careful after it. Next option is for free, and for free is -12. It's a high mid. As you can see, this is how you check people who are doing mids. It is not a true string, so if they just throw this out, you can just punish them, and it's not confirmable anything, so they do have to commit to this. Last one is 4-4, and 4-4 is +5 on block, and the secret is, of course, like the last moves we saw, you can punish it. I think he's set to do dick jabs right now, so yeah, this will whiff, but if he does like a normal jab, he's gonna get a float combo. Oh, sorry, this is on hit, so yeah, on hit you cannot interrupt it, but yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, on block you get to float them, you get a combo. Okay, amazing. Next strings are the forward 4 string, and forward 4 has a few follow-ups. So you have forward 4-4 and forward 4-4 free, right? As you can see, these are all highs, right? Some, like in Tekken 7, you use this mostly for combos. I don't think it get used much more. You have forward 4 free, and this is also a high, and you have forward 4 down 4, which is a high low. So as you can see, all these are like highs and lows. So you can, whenever you see this move, like this kick, you know it's time to duck. Sorry. But yeah, you can kind of tell this is like the time you want to duck. Other strings. Free 1. Free 1 is used mostly in combos, but it's also a mid-high that starts at 15 frames. It is not bad. It can go into sneak stance technically, right? Like this. Remember, all these transitions on block, we can always interrupt them. We can always just jab them all. Just gotta keep an eye out for the low. And it also has a follow-up in this high and in this mid. Okay, so this mid -12, very simple, right? If you can discern it, there's also a delayable window there. Like this is the normal version. This is the delayed. It's also delayed. These strings are like, they're okay. They're not too bad. The risk reward is not terrible, but yeah, just keep an eye out. Mid is punishable. High, if you see it, it's 22 frames startup high, like high kick. So if you manage to kind of notice that, then you can duck under and launch. Okay, so that's a free 1 string. You also have the down free string. I said I'll mention it earlier when I mentioned this low poke. So this one has 2 different follow-ups. One of them is a mid, right? The mid is -11. It's like a nice round ender sometimes because it's -11 low mid. You also have the high, and the high is safe. It also has this follow-up after it, which you can of course interrupt. So like this, or they could just do like this, which is -8. Okay, so these are the general like down free strings. Then you have 1-1 I mentioned already, -14. Back 4. Okay, back 4 is a big one. I think this is like one of the key strings you're going to be dealing with when you're facing against Dragunov players. Back 4 is like a super common move. It's very, very strong. First thing you want to learn is how to duck this thing. Now, you can't always duck it on reaction, since, well, this is really fast. So sometimes you just want to, if they are putting you at the wall, Dragunov players love to use this move to kind of stick you to the wall and deal a lot of damage. So when you're near the wall especially, but just generally speaking also, look for this like move for this back 4, and then maybe try to flash duck in order to launch them. Now let's show how the mid looks like. The mid is looking like this. It is safe, and it's not a natural strength. So if they do this and you block, then it's your turn. If you don't block the second hit, the last hit is guaranteed. And something that you should know about the last hit is that on block it is actually +1. So a lot of people don't know this is a common like Dragunov trap, right? A lot of people who don't know this get hit by this. Then like Dragunov does this like jab string, which is a counter hit jab string, right? It's all guaranteed. It's a heat engager. A lot of people get hit by this. Don't get hit by this anymore. Okay, you saw it here. If you ended up blocking this string in full, do not press. They're looking for this counter hit. Now, last hit here is a high, so you can duck it. If the opponent likes going for this often, duck it, launch it. Okay. Now for the final mix-up here is the Dragunov player could go for this tackle here instead. This tackle is pretty annoying. He has like all these like mixes from it, and you just need to guess if you do get tackled. Of course, if the opponent goes for the tackle, you can just hop kick them or just like do like a jumping move, a low crush move, something that puts you airborne, so you don't get hit and you basically hit them. If you can do that on reaction, this tackle is pretty slow. As you can see, 40 frame startup. If you can do it on reaction, perfect. Okay, that's what you're striving to be able to do. Okay, next string. Next string to one we talked about. Next string is back two. Oh, back two. Okay, back to one. Kind of like a mid-high string, right? Very nice string. It has the next fallout. So it has free, right? Which is a low. It will crush highs in case you retaliate with highs, but generally speaking, it's supposed to catch people with slower reaction times. A lot of new Dragunov players like to use this, kind of like mid, high, and then low. You can also cancel the low, doing 1+2, and it goes into a grab, and the grab is a crouch grab. So if the opponent sees what you're doing and is like, oh, I'll crouch block and I'll punish them, right? You go into this grab and they get a heat engager, 30 damage, and you're thinking, damn, that's bullshit. How do you beat both options? Well, once you see this, if you see any type of animation, the moment you see it, immediately hop kick. Okay, no matter what they do, hop kick or an airborne move will beat both options, no doubt. It's a reaction that's worth working on, for sure. This could be a really annoying thing at the start when fighting against Dragunov. Once you get used to it, it's no problem at all. And these, I think, are all the strings I kind of wanted to mention. I mean, of course, there are a few other strings, but I think all these will suffice for you when you're fighting against Dragunovs. Now let's talk a bit about this like QCF like thing I called like the sneak step thing. Basically, it's technically his only stance. He does have technically a move from back turn, but he doesn't really have a back turn stance. Like he has just like a unique move from back turn, which is this. It's a low, it knocks down. It's pretty good. It's pretty fast too. This is not a common thing that they use this. They can't manually go into back turn either, so not very common, not too important. Back to this. So QCF, give him this little step that you can see here. You can kind of see him do like a special dash, right? And he has the next move. So he has a high launcher, right? Deals a lot of damage. Pretend like I know how to do the combo. I don't remember what it is for the life of me. I feel like something like this, but I don't remember. Anyway, so this move, it's his fastest move. It's 15 frames, so as you can tell, this stance is not the fastest in terms of options, right? His other options are a bit slower. So, and it's a high, so usually you can beat stuff by like crouching and dick jabbing, or just like beating a lot of options like that. And it's pretty nice for a launcher. Let's put them on block just so we can show the data. Yeah, like because it's just -3 for a launcher. I think that's pretty good. The next option he has is QCF2, and QCF2 is -14. It is a launcher too. When you get it, you get like this big launch. On counter it, you get this big crunch. And it's a very, very nice move. QCF4, we already talked about, +7 on block. Is a heat engager. Very nice move. Has some tracking. Yeah, generally you'll see a lot of Dragunovs like to use this. They like the chip damage, they like the plus frames. Remember, you generally want to interrupt this. This is one of the slower options, so make sure you check this. Don't let them get away with just doing that off of their like things on block. On hit, sometimes you can check it, sometimes it's better to just let it go and just reset to neutral. And you have QCF3. QCF3 is the low, 0 on hit. I think when it's slightly spaced better, it can be plus, like +1 or something, but I don't know if that's too relevant. I don't know if I can get it. Doesn't matter. It has a counter hit effect, which is pretty scary. Deals a lot of damage, right? 40 damage. It is launchable, so if you do block it, send them flying. And last option is the armor move. The armor move is a mid, and it's minus 13, right? As you can see. It is like nice, basically, once the opponent starts learning when he's supposed to mash and kind of challenge stuff, that's when Dragunov will start being forced to use this, and then you can punish them basically for free. So keep that kind of like little game in mind when playing against Dragunovs. Okay, now we're off to Gimmicks from Dragunov. And Gimmicks, like, again, remember, Gimmicks are not anything bad. They're just moves with special properties or things that you should know. So 1+2, the armor move, minus 14. Okay, just simple armor move, not too special, not too great. Dragunovs mostly use this when your back is against a wall and they want to splat you with it. After they just did something that's minus, like this into this, or maybe they'll do like this into this. Next one is QCB2. It's a quarter circle back into 2. It's a backswing. It's a bit of like, it has like some crushing to it, and it has like a weird pushback that sometimes makes people not being able to punish properly. As you can see, like here, sometimes your like your launcher doesn't reach. I'm trying to put them to punish. Yeah, okay. So, oh. Yeah, okay, this one reaches, but I know some others sometimes don't reach, so yeah, just keep that in mind. It is pretty linear, so if like let me try and jab into it. Sorry. Let me try and maybe do it like this. Yeah, as you can see, it is a bit linear. So if they just throw it out and you're still like using your movement, this will whiff. It has a lot of recovery on whiff, so you can definitely launch punish it. Yeah, this move is like most backswings. It's used to get out of sticky situations where the opponent is trying to retaliate with a move too fast, and he gets basically whiff punished for it. So yeah, keep it in mind. It's a solid one, not the best one in the game, but definitely solid. Yeah, and gives him this kind of launch, basically a normal and counter hit. Okay, next gimmick is where is it? I'm looking. Back 3+4. Okay, back 3+4 is a punch parry. So basically, oh, I guess I should have set him to punish again. Select, do jab. So basically, it punches parries. It gives them a little bit of follow-up afterwards, right? Like this. Nothing too special about it. It's a pretty slow move. It's not that great by itself. It's -2, but it's a high, so not too impressive for like 28 frame move. But yeah, as you can see, you can kind of like do it if people try to retaliate with jabs. It punch parries. It doesn't parry anything special like elbows or knees or shoulders. So generally not too scary of a parry, and we can move on to the next move. Next gimmick is the tackle that I kind of showed you, and just generally like the whole throw thing that Dragunov is doing. You can see that like I can show it kind of like I guess in his heat options, I think. No, it's not what I'm looking for. Okay, yeah, he has access to it from all sorts of moves. This kind of like tackle. This tackle is unbreakable when he's in heat, which I guess is more of a heat thing. But this tackle basically puts you in a guess scenario. Wait, can I have you just block? Thank you. What was the? I'm trying to remember. What was the setup for it? Yeah, this. Okay, so you have like a two break, a 1 break, that deletes white health, and the 1+2 break, which just kind of like punches you really hard. So yeah, you're basically guessing. You don't know, there's no tell. You have to kind of like pay attention to what your opponent is normally using and try to counter it. But other than that, it's pure mind games. No way to know. In heat, this is unbreakable. Normally it is breakable with 1+2. If you break it on time, that's great. Maybe this is a good place to kind of remind that Dragunov has a full grab game. So he has like right, a 1 break, a 2 break, and also a 1+2 break. 1+2 break puts him in a very nasty situation. And since we already covered gimmicks, let's just talk about a few common scenarios. And first one, I'll start with the grab. Basically, this grab gives him very nice Oki. So he has this kind of like sorry, it changes the camera for some reason. Gives him this kind of like nice scenario. I think this was just nerfed, so you don't have to be as careful of it as before. Before you could do a lot of like things off it, but yeah. Since you are kind of on the side of your back to him, when you wake up, he has a lot of things that you could press to kind of like beat a lot of your options. Just wake up carefully on it. I think back 4 beats almost anything you could ever do there. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Okay, last gimmicks I think are yeah, he has 2 special get up options. So let's, where's player status? Face yeah, face down. Sorry, face down. Yeah. Okay, so 1 is special get up 1+2. You can see him kind of crawling. You can do it only when he is face down. Doesn't matter if he's face down towards you or away from you, right? And from it, he can also do, I believe, a tackle, if I'm not wrong. Let me look at the move list. Am I messing up the input? Possibly. I know he can do it. I just don't remember if I'm getting the input right. Moves while opponent is down. No. Attacker reversal, no. Throws, no. Moves while facing backwards, no. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Yeah, so he has the ambush tackle, where he basically puts you in the tackle. You cannot throw escape it, and you have to play the guessing game from it. Oh, there it is. Right, and it's the same guessing game from the normal tackle. Pretty annoying, but it is what it is. And he also has when he's with his face down and feet toward you, which is a very uncommon situation. It's usually a good Oki situation for you. And even here, it's not that it's bad, but have to pay attention. If he presses, which is it? Free? Is it free on counter hit? By opponent's feet? Oh, maybe it's like a clean hit kind of thing. I'm just gonna hoard him. Okay. Go forward. Right, like this. Clean hits, does 30 damage, kind of reverses the situation. Very uncomfortable. I hate this move personally. It's really annoying to deal with sometimes when you're just trying to run Oki and he suddenly deals this like insane damage to you. Very annoying. Pay attention to it. Don't get hit by it. It's a bit of a gimmick, but you gotta deal with it. Okay. Now let's move to common scenarios. And with Dragunov, I think one of the most important scenarios that you want to know how to deal with is the wall running 2 or the Dragunov is +6 in my face. What the fuck do I do now? Situation. So yeah, I recorded him doing all sorts of options. So generally speaking, he could do the wall running 2 into another wall running 2, right? That's like a common option. If he does go for it, you can of course interrupt him. You can armor. You can step right to the right as long as you step after he starts like his movement, right? You'll see it like this, right? So I show it now with also a punish. Okay, maybe wrong punish from Dragunov. Okay, I'm not sure how Dragunov would punish this. Maybe he has like a jab string that is guaranteed there. I'm just wondering now. Yeah, I don't know. I bet you could do all sorts of things that I just don't know because I'm not a Dragunov player. But yeah, that's option number one. It has a lot of ways to beat it. It's not too scary. Let's look at option number two. So option number two is Dragunov does a wall running 2 and then he does a down forward 1. Now remember, after the down forward, after the wall running 2, if he does a fast move like this, you cannot step him. Okay, you can try to backdash him, but I doubt you'll make it out. As you can see, the back 1 is getting pretty far, and you cannot like low crush it, you cannot high crush it, and you cannot armor it. Okay, so you gotta respect the down forward 1. Okay, if you do want to challenge and you think like I'm willing to get hit by the down forward 1, I don't think that's a big deal. That's okay, but just keep that in mind. It's not something you can challenge. Next option, Dragunov does wall running 2 and goes for a down 2. Now, if he does that, you cannot step, of course. That's not an option. You cannot armor because the low will hit you, and you cannot jab, right? All these are non-options. Down for 1 even doesn't work because it's usually 13 frame startup. You can low parry, right? You can look for a low parry and just do your combo, or you can try and low block, maybe like flash block low after a low like while to make sure you're blocking like the down for 1 or the jabs and then blocking like the last minute. Up to you if you want to try it. That's like okay. Just make sure you don't do too much ducking because it can open you up for bigger things. Other things you can do could look like this into the back 4. Back 4, remember, is steppable. If they like doing back 4 afterwards, maybe they put you close to a wall and they're trying to splat you or something. Remember, this is very steppable. You just gotta make sure that after you step, you take your punish, whatever you're going for, right? Yeah, remember that you're coming out of side steps, so you may not have access to all of your move list as you normally do. Okay, so that's the back 4 options. And you have the wall running 2 into down forward 4, sorry. This is a very fast mid poke, so again, I don't think you can really challenge this, but remember, if you get hit by this, it's not a big deal. If you block it, it's definitely your turn at +9. So yeah, just keep an eye out for that one. And one last thing that you could do is go for a grab, and grab is really nice because it tracks now. So if you're like trying to step, being able to step and also attack this could be really annoying. It obviously could be any one of the grabs. It will beat your armor too. If you are trying to like deal with a grab, like you can try and duck or just tech them. Teching is okay. But yeah, since he has a full grab game, sometimes it can be a bit difficult to tech the correct throw, right? And yeah, just keep that in mind. Sometimes it's okay to kind of like commit to this duck thing if they like doing highs or lows only. So that's not a big problem. These are just a few examples of what he could do. Obviously, he can do a lot of other things. Some Dragunovs like doing this into this, so like the extra plus frames, and you can interrupt them or step them, similar to the running 2 into running 2. Some Dragunovs like to do this move, or they like going for one of these, right? Every Dragunov has their own thing. Obviously, since they could also be in heat, some Dragunov players go for the running 2. And let me actually put myself in heat to kind of demonstrate that, I guess. Player heat, activate. Okay, so yeah, some Dragunov players like doing this, and then they immediately go for this. This is a 15 frame power smash, heat smash. Since it's 15 frames, after this it's not interruptible. Stepping it is like almost impossible as far as I know. Yeah, so like going for this is like very common. A lot of them do that. Remember, since we're moving to heat now, we can kind of like mention it. After this, Dragunov player can choose to go into the unbreakable tackle. If they do try to react to it, I don't remember the input to do this. I think there is like some input for it. I don't know the input. Oh, there it is. So if they do go for it, you just need to kind of like crush it, jumping move, something that will launch them hopefully, or just at least like get them off you. Otherwise, you do have to hold a guess, and that's not super fun. Remember, try to do that on reaction and not just like randomly, because of course he's very plus there, right? As you can see, +6, and he can still put you in the same kind of loop of a situation. So these are like common situations. We already talked about the common situation down 2, right? Down 2, and like the Dragunov could do like a while standing 4. We want you to challenge. He will have to let me show what happens if opponent set to punish. This will be the last, I think, common situation I want to cover. Yeah, so we'll set them to do a while standing 4, right? So as you can see, they're down 4. Wins if I do a dick jab. It trades if both of us do a dick jab. The person who got hit by the down 2 will win. The Dragunov has to try and step this to beat this, or to just like hold it and then take his turn again, because while standing 4s are usually -1 block, like so. But don't let them get away with doing like the full crouch down, like full crouch down 1-4 thing. Like that's not cool. Okay, they definitely cannot go for that. Okay, this is a 16 frame move. This is a full crouch thing, right? They're -1. Okay, so you're basically letting them do a 17 frame move. Not cool. So with that said, these are like the common scenarios. Generally speaking, Dragunov can be a bit difficult to play against, but I think once you get to know these like basic stuff, you should be doing a lot better against them when you have like all the information and you practice all the things you need to. Homework, as always, go lap some Dragunov stuff, look at the punishment training, check like some of the strings, some of the ducks that we talked about, like the back 4 freeze, super common move, maybe down forward 1-4, right, that you can sometimes duck and punish. Check all these out and look for other punishes and things that you can go on Dragunov, and don't fall for the gimmicks, all the things we talked about. Okay, remember the armor moves, the tackles that you can low crush, and also the on the ground options that he has, like the kick and the tackle. That said, hope this video was useful. I'll make sure to start working on the next one. And as always, if you have any feedback or questions, feel free and encouraged to post them down below. Bye bye for now.